is my honor to introduce the 45th and soon-to-be 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
President-elect Donald Trump is back in the headlines, this time for a comment that's as bold as it is bizarre. In a tweet that has since gone viral, Trump referred to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as the governor of the great state of Canada. The remark, made in classic Trump fashion, has sparked a storm of reactions online, with some calling it a humorous jab and others questioning the implications for US-Canada relations. Was it a joke? Not really. A calculated political move? Maybe. Or simply Trump being Trump? Well, that certainly is true. Regardless of the intent, the comment has reignited discussions about the complex and often testy relationship between the US and Canada, particularly under Trump's leadership. Hello and welcome to Statecraft with me, Geeta Mohan. The comment came after a private dinner between the two world leaders at Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence following his 2024 election victory. Sources say the two leaders discussed a range of topics from trade, tariffs to border security. But what truly stole the spotlight was Trump's humorous suggestion that Canada consider becoming the 51st state of the United States of America if it couldn't handle the economic strain from potential US tariffs. The context for this remark revolves around Trump's proposed 25% tariff on Canadian goods, a move he claims is necessary to address illegal immigration at the US-Canada border. Trump's tariffs are seen as a warning to Canada to step up its border security measures. Prime Minister Trudeau, however, has expressed serious concerns, warning that such tariffs could devastate Canada's economy.
25% tariffs on everything going to the United States would be devastating for the Canadian economy. It would require us to pull together and support each other and hang in there to prevent just horrific losses in all of our communities for everyone. They would also, however, mean real hardship for Americans as well. Americans import 65% of their crude oil from Canada. Significant amounts of electricity, just about all the natural gas exported from Canada goes to the United States. They rely on us for steel and aluminum. They rely on us for a range of agricultural imports. All of those things would get more expensive.
While Trump's quip about Canada joining the US was likely intended as humor, it reportedly left Trudeau visibly uncomfortable, prompting nervous laughter. And if there's one thing Trump knows how to do, it's blending humor with pointed political remarks. Social media response was swift and divided. Some users mocked Trudeau, calling him out for his perceived weakness in leadership. Others praised Trump's boldness, joking that Canada, if the 51st state, would make America the largest country in the world. Memes flooded the internet, with netizens giving their 2 cents about the situation. Trump's tweet has ignited several discussions about what if Canada became the 51st state of the United States of America. The idea of Canada becoming a state has been floated before but remains largely theoretical. Historically, there have been moments when US expansionists considered annexing parts of Canada, particularly during the 19th century. However, these ideas never gained traction due to political complexities and public sentiment. One significant barrier is political alignment. Polls indicate that Canadians generally lean more left than their American counterparts on issues such as healthcare and gun control. The potential implications of annexing Canada would be profound for US politics. Adding approximately 40 million Canadians as new citizens could significantly shift the balance in Congress. The idea of Canada becoming the 51st state may seem amusing and spark debate, but it is unlikely due to history and political challenges. This humorous exchange highlights the underlying tensions in US-Canada relations, particularly around trade and immigration. While Trudeau has maintained a diplomatic stance, Trump's remarks and the proposed tariffs could escalate tensions between the two neighbors. Canada relies heavily on trade with the United States of America, making any economic threats particularly significant for the former.
So the Prime Minister was really clear yesterday. He said that, of course, Canada would respond to unjustified tariffs. Our focus is on achieving a win-win outcome. And our focus is on really explaining to our American partners, our American neighbors, that the trading relationship with Canada is balanced and mutually beneficial. And it's a very special relationship because Canada is the largest market for the US. We are a bigger export market for the United States than China, Japan, the UK, and France combined. That puts us in a really special position. And of course, Canada supplies to the United States things America absolutely critically needs: oil, electricity, uranium, critical minerals and metals. So we believe that this is a mutually beneficial, balanced, and win-win trading relationship. And we're taking the time to explain to our American partners that that is the case. As the Prime Minister said, we have had in the past experiences with unjustified tariffs from the United States. The experience in 2018 was that Canadian retaliation ultimately worked. And it worked because of our importance to the United States as an economic partner. For sure, Canada depends on the United States and benefits from our economic relationship with the United States. But it's also true that the United States benefits from its relationship on us. And that win-win, balanced, mutually beneficial relationship is what we are focused on.
The US-Canada trade partnership is one of the largest and most significant bilateral trading relationships in the world. In 2022, Canada exported goods worth approximately $438 billion to the US, with key exports including crude petroleum, cars, and petroleum gas. Similarly, the US exported about $308 billion worth of goods to Canada, with major exports being cars, refined petroleum, and delivery trucks. This relationship is foundational to both economies. Approximately 75% of Canadian exports go to the United States, underscoring Canada's reliance on the American market. Canada, in turn, is one of the top destinations for US exports. But with the looming threat of Trump's tariffs on the horizon, Canada finds itself in troubled waters. In September 2024 alone, Canada reported a trade surplus with the US of 14.3 billion Canadian dollars. Any tariff measures could disproportionately impact Canadian industries reliant on US markets, particularly in natural resources, automotive products, and agriculture. This economic partnership is not just about numbers. It supports millions of jobs in both countries and is underpinned by a series of free trade agreements. Most recently, the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or the USMCA, which took effect in July of 2020. The USMCA replaced the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, and aims to create a more balanced trading environment. However, as we've seen recently, tensions can arise quickly.
When I look at the outlook with regard to tariffs and the imposition of tariffs, clearly there is a negotiation going on before this administration even takes its reins at the controls in order to try to morph conditions in the direction they would like to see it go. With Mexico and Canada, there was a clear caveat last night that was suggested relating to the flow of migrants across the border and the flow of drugs across the borders. So clearly, there's some evidence here that it's not just about trade; it's about using trade as a means to accomplish something that this administration would like to see happen, which is to slow the tide of illegal immigration across the border, as well as slow the tide of illicit drugs across the borders. You can argue that there's certainly more pressure to the southern border than the northern border, but I clearly think they want to make sure to both of the countries we share very large borders with that, this is a real important focus of the U.S. upcoming administration. And I think he's managing to telegraph that signal.
This is not the first time Trump has resorted to tariffs when it comes to pressuring Canada. During his first stint as president in the year 2017, Trump imposed steep tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminium. Prime Minister Trudeau retaliated with his own tariffs, calling Trump's measures unjustified and harmful to Canadian workers. The fallout escalated during the G7 summit in Quebec, where Trump publicly called Trudeau dishonest and weak. Following Trudeau's critique of US tariffs, Trump withdrew his endorsement of the summit's joint statement, a diplomatic rupture rarely seen between allies. Hours later, Trump doubled down on Twitter, accusing Trudeau of backstabbing the US. But that was only the beginning. Trump's comments linking Trudeau to Fidel Castro further strained relations, drawing sharp rebukes from Canadian officials. Canadian officials described the remark as unhelpful, while Trudeau downplayed the incident, focusing on the productive aspects of their discussions. There are several parallels between this incident and the incident which is unfolding in front of us. It underscores Trump's trademark communication style, a blend of humor, provocation, and negotiation. Whether his comments were meant as a light-hearted jab or a veiled warning, they've certainly succeeded in capturing public attention and reigniting conversations about the delicate balance of US-Canada ties. Trump's strategy, what some call escalate to de-escalate, is designed to pressure allies into renegotiating trade agreements. But for Canada, this approach risks long-term economic and diplomatic fallout. The broader implications of this tense relationship extends beyond trade. Some legal experts are even questioning whether Trump's private negotiations with Trudeau could violate the Logan Act, a 225-year-old law prohibiting unauthorized foreign policy talks. The idea of Canada becoming a US state might seem far-fetched, but Trump's tweet has reignited debates about the future of US-Canada relations, from trade policies to border security. Whether it's a joke or a strategy, the world is watching how this chapter unfolds. Thank you for watching Statecraft. Goodbye and take care.